Hello, everyone.
Hi! Welcome back to We Are Open. I'm Brianna.
I'm Lori.
And we are Adventures by Lori. And today we're going to be talking about airline regulations.
Yes.
And what you can expect for air travel.
Yeah.
The end of this year and next year.
Yeah. Well, we don't have a lot for next year, but we at least know what's going on right now today. So that's kind of a good thing.
Yeah, so if you guys have any questions, make sure to comment those in the comments, and we'll try to answer those while we're live. But otherwise, I think we could probably just get right into it because we have a lot of information for you guys.
We do have a lot of information. The first thing, though, I want to tell you is that the things that we're sharing with you right now, the regulations, the protocols that we are doing right now are current, but they change all the time. So it's also different from each airline. So Delta might be different from American, United, Southwest, Frontier. All of them are all different. So it's important that you always check your airline carrier for the most current and up-to-date information.
Yes.
So we'll start with that right there.
I think I should mention too, because usually we mention what we're wearing.
Today
we're wearing ascots and flight attendant wear.
Yeah.
I think Lori's is much better than mine because the red, white, and blue really sells it.
Delta.
So everybody give Lori a thumbs up.
It's costume day.
Yeah. Okay, so let's first talk about what the airlines are doing.
Yeah, so the airlines are following the CDC protocols very, very carefully, and they are all making changes, and the most important thing for all of these airlines is to make sure that the safety of the crew and the passengers are at top priority. So they're going to be doing a lot of different things. Some of the things that they are doing, they have very strict cleaning protocols. So we know that is happening in between each of the flights. Delta is spraying down. They have a spray that they've been doing. Normally they use this spray like every, I don't know how often they really do it, but they're doing it now before each flight. So they're spraying it all down. There are some UV rays that they are coming out with. The airlines, I think all of them, but that is going to kill every virus that is on the surfaces. So that's going to be really interesting that they'll be able to go through the plane and kill all those before each flight. The tray tables, the seats are all getting wiped down in between flights. So all of this is going to be taking more time to get everybody loaded, but it's important. The crew will all be wearing masks. The passengers will also be wearing masks. They're going to be boarding from back to front instead of usually like a first class, and then they board from front to back. So this time they're going to be boarding back to front, where first class, business class are always going to be able to board at any time that they want to. So if they want to board first, they can, but the typical front to back is going to be more back to front. So they'll be boarding that way. The middle seats, Delta, JetBlue, are still reserving those middle seats as no passengers in the middle seats. Some of the airlines are starting to relax that. So like American Airlines, you could very well have a full flight. And I think a lot of the airlines have been having full flights. If you've flown recently, you might have been on a full flight. But that is something that can change. So they did, like American Airlines, if you are on a full flight, you can request to be on a different flight. So protocols for changing flights are always open. A lot of the change, if you want to make a change, there's no change fees. The airlines are very relaxed when it comes to making changes. You can change your flight up to, I think, like December of 2021 if you have a current flight that you want to change to something else. It might have a different airfare, so if it's a more expensive airfare, you have to pay the difference, but there's no change fees to actually do that. I think that's it for, yeah.
They're just airlines are taking all the precautions to protect us.
Exactly.
And to make it easy for passengers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talking to passengers.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about how they have to required to wear masks.
Yeah.
What else can a passenger expect on a flight?
So passengers should be expecting a little bit more different things too, because it's different. This is again I'm talking domestic travel. I'm not talking international travel. I'm just talking the USA, the domestic USA. For the most part, maybe down to Mexico, Caribbean, that this is part of that too, but we're not talking international as far as going to Europe or long haul flights. These are like domestic, shorter flights. First of all, and this is important to a lot of people, there is no alcohol that will be served on any flights at this point, even in first class, for most of the airlines. So again, check your airline carrier because it could change. Plastic cups, ice, no. Bottled water on Delta, yes, if you request it. So a lot of the drinks and the snacks are not going to be served. You need to bring your own drinks, your own snacks. Non-alcoholic beverages are allowed on there. You cannot still bring alcoholic beverages onto a flight. One thing that's going to be really important is you do need to have a mask on all through the flight. So if you're flying, be prepared for that. And the airlines are very strict about this. Matter of fact, some of the airlines and most of the airlines are saying if you refuse to wear a mask, you can be denied boarding and you can be denied future flight privileges. So like United, American, and Delta, the three major ones, if you refuse to wear a mask and you don't have an exclusive medical condition that prevents you from doing that, they can put you on a no-fly list and you will not be able to fly with their carrier. So it's very, very important.
Yeah.
And they're taking it seriously. So if you're planning on flying, be prepared. You're going to be wearing a mask. So that's for the safety of the crew, for your fellow passengers, just wear your mask. So I think that's one. Oh, one other thing that's going to be important is they're trying to reduce the touch from crew to passenger as much as possible. So that's why you're not going to be getting snacks and drinks and ice and all that. But they're also going to be limiting the crew helping putting those carry-on bags up in the carry-on luggage storage. So if you're planning on bringing a carry-on and packing that to like 50 pounds and you can't lift that yourself, don't do it. If you have to be able to carry and lift your own carry-on into the storage. The crew is not going to be doing that. Going back to scarves though, or masks, you can also wear like those scarves, those little scarf things or bandanas. As long as your face is covered, you should be okay.
So maybe choose one that's probably comfortable to wear for a couple hours.
Right, a couple hours. Yeah. Whatever you are comfortable with. This is your face covering, so you can take like the little homemade ones, or if you have these are the ones that will probably be given out at the airport, and every passenger, if you don't have a mask, will be provided one.
So in airports, will a mask be provided in just going into the airport or just on the plane?
I'm not sure where. I'm going to guess that the airline, when you do your airline check-in and check your bag at the airport gate, they'll probably have those available.
Okay. Okay, so then let's talk about the TSA changes.
Yes.
What's going to happen with that?
So TSA is making some changes too. So when you get to the airport, first of all, arrive early. If you've been to the airport lately, the airports are quiet, but they're starting to get busier. So more people are starting to travel. So you don't want to take the chance and get there right before your flight, because it could be busier than what you have expected lately. Arrive early. So that's my number one thing. Passengers will be holding your own boarding pass. So when you go to the TSA, if you remember, you give the TSA your ticket, they write a little note, they check your face. You might have to pull your mask down so they can see your face. And then, but you're going to be just holding it up. They're going to check it, just holding it. They're not going to physically take your boarding pass. So make sure that you are aware of that. Food items, because you're going to be bringing your food in. Remember, you're going to be purchasing your beverages or filling up your water bottle, past the TSA. So you're not going to be bringing your cans of pop and everything into the TSA. So if you are going to be bringing food from home and not getting it past the TSA line, you want to make sure that you have it in a separate plastic, like a gallon-sized bag, and you're going to be putting all of your food items in a separate bin other than what you would put your shoes and everything else in. So just, you'll have a bin for that. Be very careful on your 3.4 liquid and gel items that you're going to be bringing. That's the majority of what is stopping the check-in, like the TSA security. Like people have their shampoo, their lotions, their suntan oils, and that a lot of times will be the thing that will hold up everybody. So just be really careful about those so that you can get through that TSA line faster. Social distancing is always going to be something, so they will probably have little markers on the ground. Every airport's different, but expect that. Temperature checks as of today are not being done, I don't think, but I expect that they probably will be. So you may end up at TSA having one of the little non-touch temperature checks. I think that's it. Yeah.
Well, I don't think we have any questions, but if you do think of something watching this in the future, make sure you leave it in the comments and we can answer it there as well, or just give us a call.
And we do have some good news.
Good news.
Do we want to leave everybody with good news?
Yeah.
Good news is that domestic flights are increasing. So more people are flying, and that means that people are traveling. That means people are going places, and they're doing it safely. They're doing it safely. So right now, domestic flights are up 55% of what they were in 2019,
awesome.
which I think is good.
Yeah.
That's over half of what we were doing in 2019, and it's going up. The other thing is stocks for the airlines are going up as of today again. So that's good news too. That means that the airlines are recovering, and I think that it's going to take a while to recover fully, but they are recovering. People are traveling. If you're a business class traveler, you'll be glad to know that some of the airlines are opening up their sky clubs. So that's another good news too. So things are opening, people are traveling.
Things are looking up.
That's funny, Brady.
Did you have any other updates before we move on?
I don't think so.
Okay. I've got airline centered trivia today.
Great.
So
go for it.
So
Let's see.
This is just, I guess, here's what I'll do. There are two of the oldest airlines opened just a year from each other. One opened in 1919 and one opened in 1920. Okay, so I'll give you the two and then you say which is the oldest.
Okay.
So there's Qantas and there's KLM Royal Dutch Airlines. So KLM, yep, that's opened in 1919.
Little trivia for you.
Yeah.
I was actually over in Amsterdam in their headquarters where they actually started. They started in the building that is the Pulitzer Hotel over in Amsterdam. And in the Pulitzer Hotel, you can go to the original KLM boardroom, and they have a little Swarovski diamond or crystal in the ceiling of where, just as a little commemorative of KLM.
Okay.
Huh.
See? You got it.
There.
Travel expert. Okay, I have a fun fact, but I'm wondering maybe we can turn this into extra trivia.
Okay.
This is just fun fact, but in 1987, American Airlines started removing one olive from each salad served in first class. How much money do you think they saved in the first year?
Oh my goodness. I would have taken all of the olives
No
out.
olives.
No olives.
Just from one olive.
$500,000.
They've saved 40,000.
Okay, well. Inflation.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So that's our airline trivia.
That's interesting.
Thank you guys for watching. I think next week we're going to talk about domestic travel and where is going to be good to go domestically.
Yeah, where can you go now? Like right now, where can you go with your family to get out of this little area that is safe and someplace that you can go to find some adventure.
So if you guys have questions about specific locations, send those to us and we'll try to answer those. But
Or if you have recommendations, we'll take recommendations too.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next week.
Because we are
open.
Bye.